Why, good day, everyone. God bless you all, and good to see everybody for another live stream. Hopefully, we will have Adam Seeker shortly with us. I sent him the link. Maybe he is a little busy. Not quite sure. Oh, did anyone else see Chris? Okay. Hey, God bless you, Darcy. Good to see you. God bless you, Dragon. Everybody else into the text. Of course, God bless my wife. Thank you very much for always being there, Denise. Um, Good day, Mr. Adam. Look at that. Start speaking of you, and there he is. Good day.
Hello, everyone.
All right, you guys can hear me on this, right?
Yeah, we can hear you on this. We're live too,
Oh,
Robert.
sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, no, no. It's okay. You can talk. And everybody else, this is Mr. Radical Moderate. Hopefully, we'll get some of them radical rants out of him today.
Dude, you almost got me shot or arrested or thrown off the subway, man. I was screaming in the phone earlier, man. Like, I can't believe this. This dude's an idiot. Anyway.
Yeah, that Christian guy that Paul Williams had on his show is definitely an idiot. I
Yeah.
definitely give you that. So today, everybody, we are going to go over the debate that I had with the Jihadist, the Muslim debater from Discord. He is supposed to be one of the best debaters on Discord. So I wanted to test him out, see what he was like. And as we will see, and as everybody's seen during the debate, he was actually very, very bad. Um, Adam, what was your first thoughts when you were listening to that Muslim speak?
My first thought was, why the hell are you wasting time with this idiot? Quite frankly, that's what I was thinking when you were talking. Like, obviously, it was a one-on-one debate, so I couldn't intervene. But I was like, is this guy like? it's 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 so idiotic, man. Quite frankly, seriously speaking.
Alrighty. So what we'll do is I'll get this started. If either one of you guys want me to stop and to pause the video, just go ahead and speak up. We'll just comment on what we hear. And I've made this video, and all it is the jihadist. I didn't put any of my argumentations in there. I think we all know what it was, anyways.
Hey, brother, whenever you get time, I would definitely want you to show to the audience what he said in the chat. So whenever you get time, please do that as well.
Oh, okay.
Before I begin deconstructing this argument, I would just like to give the salawat and salam to Rasulullah Habibina sallallahu alayhi wa sallam wa ala alihi wa ala ashabihi ajma'in. Amma ba'd. What comes afterwards is a very simple concept. What I wanted to introduce here first is the definition of reliability and the definition of validity. What reliability solely means and simply means is how reliable a certain piece of information is. For example, imagine three hospitals. Each hospital giving you the same diagnosis is reliability. Validity is how accurate is that diagnosis that they have given you.
Excellent. So as we can see here, it is the diagnosis that they're giving you, right? Now, I'm going to share my screen here. Actually, just bear with me 1 minute here. I should have had this ready, and I don't. But anyway. All right, so I'm going to pull this up, and I'm going to take a look at it. See what it does here. All right. I'm going to try to share my screen, and we'll get this on here. And I want to take a look at it, and we'll take a look at the reliability, I guess you could say, of this. Where is it? We're going to do the entire screen. We're going to share this. We're going to go over here. We're going to go over here. We're going to come down here. We'll click that, and we'll zoom in on it. All right. So if everybody can see here, we have the English standard text that the Muslims read today. And then we have the Sanaa lower text. So the Sanaa manuscript has an upper text and a lower text. And we can see down here that the red words are the changes within the text. So the text actually changes. I should get a better view of that. Sorry, guys. What's going on here?
You're going
There we
into
go.
Sana manuscripts, and yes, you can go in. But even right now, as of today, we have 4 different versions of Quran which are currently running in different part of the world in Arabic. Point number one. And point number two, if we look at the early sources, the early scholars of Islam agreed to the fact that Quran is not preserved. So that's a reality.
Oh, and that's what a lot of Muslims are trying to go at Yasser Qadi, because he was said that if you were given a blank piece of paper, would you be able to replicate what you believe that Muhammad would have been the actual recitation in his time? Well, he can't do it. This is a man that actually studied in it. Muslims are trying to condemn him for this, but it's accurate. You honestly cannot write what you believe what would have been there at the time of Muhammad, for the same reason as what Adam's been saying here.
And
Alrighty, go ahead.
please, brother.
All right, so I'll just go ahead and play this. Now, there's a part that I want to get to because he lied something fierce up here. So just give me 1 sec. We'll go ahead and start. Oh, I just got to make sure that I hit the audio, because I keep doing that before, and I don't like when I'm not having audio out there. All right, here we go.
My opponent Chris seems to confuse the both when he alternates between the quality of the scripture with the reliability of it. Secondly, I would like to just quickly dispel and deconstruct one of my opponent's entire points here off the ladder by just simply posting this in the evidence section, in which can be taken a look at hashtag Jihadist and Chris, where it clearly says here in Sahih al-Bukhari, do not ask the people about anything. Makes it quite clear, Chris. We don't want to take anything from you, but we don't affirm any of your scriptures. Clearly says here, narrated by Ubaydullah ibn Abbas, why do you ask the people of the scripture about anything when your book, the Quran, which has been revealed to Allah's Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam, is newer and latest? You read it pure, undistorted, unchanged, and Allah has told you, and it mentions the verse, Chris, that the people of the scripture, Jews and Christians in particular, changed the scripture and distorted it and wrote the scripture with their own hands and said it is from Allah to sell it for a little gain. So no, the Quran does not affirm your previous scripture. That was a lie.
May I?
Hey, yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
So if we look at Quran chapter number 10, verse number 94, if Quran is the book that he needs to go to, it is actually telling to Muhammad even, who is the prophet of Islam, that if you are in doubt, O Muhammad, O prophet, ask the people of the scriptures. So 1094, you can show it to the people as well. So now the problem is that he is now saying that but in fact in Quran and all the authentic ahadiths agree to the basic fact. We are talking about the early, the first 200 years, 300 years of Muhammad, after Muhammad, sorry, that all of them agree to the basic fact that Torah and Injil, and including Quran, actually alluded to the fact multiple times that it is between your hands, O Muhammad. So when Quran actually alludes to the fact that Torah and Injil is between your hands, bayna yadayhi, what does that mean? That Quran is alluding to that particular Torah and Injil. And if that is the fact, then how and why would they say something right now? Let me tell you when it actually started. I'm going on a little tangent, but it started from Ibn Taymiyyah, who actually died in 1020, if I'm not mistaken, but somewhere around that. Please, the last part, do not quote me on that, but in the 10th century, early 11th century, basically. That's where this notion actually started, and you can go and verify that. Even Qurtubi agreed to the basic fact. Please, Chris Claus.
Yeah, sure. Just before you get started there, Radical, because I know you're ready, I just want to quote one verse here before that, and that's Surah 547. And it says, let the people of the gospel judge by what Allah hath revealed therein. And if any fail to judge by what Allah hath revealed, they are those who rebel. So if in fact we don't have those revelations of Allah, why would we be judging them? And if we didn't have them and we didn't judge them, why are we being uh, blamed as being those who rebel? It seems to me that the Quran is affirming the previous scriptures. It's just this Muslim doesn't like it. So he goes out to this one hadith and he quotes it, which it weirdly enough, he's going to keep saying he's going to keep saying that I use fallacies, logical fallacies. Well, this is a clear cut appeal to authority. So when he thinks that he can discredit my whole argumentation by quoting one person, that is in fact a fallacy. And I'm going to get you up here on the screen, Adam.
Yeah, I'm actually showing, I'm adding to what you are saying, brother. I'm actually showing that even to Muhammad, it says, so if you are in doubt, Quran, Allah is speaking to Muhammad, فَإِن كُنْتَ فِي الشَّكِّ مِمَّا أَنزَلْنَا إِلَيْكَ. So if you are in doubt, O Muhammad, about what we have revealed to you or given to you as a revelation, then you know what you should do? You should ask those who have been reading the scripture before you. Yakrun al-kitab min qablika. So the people who are reading the books before you, and that includes the Torah, the Zabur, the Injil, all three of them. Laqad ja'aka al-haqqa, because the truth is certainly with you from your Lord. So now, so what are you telling me is that Allah was lying when he was saying this verse? Was Allah a liar? I'm sorry. This is what Jihadist has to give me an answer for. Was Allah lying?
Well, can I jump in here real quick?
Yes,
man, go ahead.
Okay, so here's kind of the funny thing. What was, first of all, what was that a hadith that he quoted? Okay, because that a hadith, what do we hear from the Muslims on the science of the hadiths? Okay, one of the things they often like to say, it cannot contradict the Quran. When he was reading that, the first thing I thought, he's contradicting the Quran, because as you all have brought out, it clearly says to Muhammad, go and ask the people of the scriptures if you are in doubt, right? But here you have the hadith saying, no, it's the hadith or the scripture has been corrupted, so they're not supposed to go to the people of the book, the people of the scripture. Do you see what I'm saying? Okay? This totally contradicts the Quran. So why would he believe this hadith to begin with? Why would he even bring this hadith up to begin with if it contradicts his Quran? Do you see what I'm saying?
And plus, we need to know where the hadith is coming from, who's writing it, what is the chain of narration. He didn't describe any of this.
Well, even if it had the most pristine chain of narration, just the mere fact that it clearly contradicts the Quran should be enough to reject it. You know what I mean?
True that.
But here's the thing. See, this highlights the point. They don't believe their own science. They're like Joe Biden and COVID. You know what I mean? They say, believe the science, but they don't believe the science because they do the opposite of what the actual science says. Okay? Seriously. They sit there and tell us we have to believe this X, Y, or they tell us that they believe X, Y, and Z of the hadith. Okay, except for the fact that they don't believe that because one, just this example right here, they don't believe it because it clearly contradicts the Quran. And this is not the only case. There are hadiths that actually make up Quran verses that are not even in the Quran. There are, you know what I mean? This just demonstrates the futility and the falsehood of this whole hadith thing. Anyway, that's all I want to rant on. Go ahead. Yeah.
No, you are right on spot, brother. You are actually right on spot. And let me add another.
Oh, hold on, Adam. Let me just correct you. It's not that I'm right. It's that the Muslim is always wrong. Okay. so it's easy to be right on that point. You know what I mean? But anyway, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you are actually right, and they are wrong. Absolutely. Brother Chris, can you please show my screen if you don't mind?
Oh yeah, for sure. And while I'm doing that, before you do start, Adam, any of the Muslims, I see you type it in the text and whatnot. Any Muslim, you want the link? I'll go ahead and I'll put it into the chat. You want to come up and you want to talk to me, Adam Seeker, or Radical Moderate? I'll welcome you all up. No problem. Just go ahead and say, "Can you please post the link, Chris?" And I'll just go ahead and I'll post the link. So instead of all that yip yapping in the text, all you need to do is you need to ask for the link and you'll get it. All right, go ahead, Adam.
All right, so this is Quran Surah Al Imran, verse number 3. It says, "Nazalna nazal ilayka al kitabul bil haqqi musaddiqan lima bayna yadayhi." So we have revealed the book, the scriptures with truth, musaddiqan lima, confirming bayna yadayhi, which is between your hands, wa anzalna Torah wa Injil, and he has revealed the Torah and the gospel. Now, so Allah in this verse is not just confirming but affirming the Torah and Injil, that it is Allah who has revealed it. Dude, like, you see, this verse is a very, very big problematic verse, and that is why when you look into the tafsir of this verse, you will see a lot of jabby yabby yab, quite frankly.
All
Hello,
right,
hello.
so Professor, another letter. Who are you, sir?
Yeah, I have a question.
Who are you?
Why
Sir?
didn't you say?
Oh, you're
Oh, who
Ibrahim,
am
aren't
I?
you? You're
What?
Ibrahim, aren't you?
No,
Where's your dad?
I'm not Ibrahim. Who's Ibrahim?
Ibrahim, can you get your dad on here? You're the same kid that was on here last time that tried to tell me
I,
that I was gonna wait for
I
his
literally
dad.
was never here, bro. Uh,
Okay,
close to your. Are you having PTSD, bro? Like
are you
this
gonna get your
screams.
dad for me this time?
What are you talking about?
Come on, man.
What are you talking about? Like literally, I'm asking you what are you talking about? I legit never came here before.
All right, go ahead. I know exactly who you are. I'll let you ask your question,
Uh,
and I'm
okay,
not
okay,
sure if
sure.
I'll answer it or if Adam answers it, but you'll get an answer.
Okay, sure. So my question is, why didn't you say all this when you were like, debating jihadist? Instead,
And
you're running and crying.
yeah,
You're
I
running and
did.
crying, yeah.
Yeah, see, this is what the Shia do to their women, right? They whore out their women, as this guy's mother was, and these type of people are produced. As I said, Ibrahim, go ahead and bring your dad. The verses were read within the actual debate. I know that you're Muslim and that you don't really listen, and that's normal. That's normal. But it's in there. Your boy failed to step up to the expectations of the debate, and I had to stomp him out. The same way I will your dad whenever you get him. I know it's been about 3 months, and he's been running some shake. Um, but yeah, anytime he's willing, I'm ready, Ibrahim. Next time you want to come on, though, at least try to use something logical. Try to be smart, or send your dad. You're just not ready. Okay. Alrighty. So sorry about that, Adam.
No worries, brother. That was absolutely all right. And he is the guy who was listening there as well. And why didn't he see that these stupid idiots, the stone lickers, actually muted you, and everyone can see the red mic with you, and they did not let you get into the uh, fast asking question. What do you call it? That segment where you ask questions to each other. They didn't let you do that because they know they were stuck. They were destroyed and demolished by your arguments, and they knew if they let you speak even further, you will demolish them. So they muted your mic, and I was there. I could see. I have the. Uh, let me show. Let me show, if you don't mind. Let me just divert the topic a little for this, for the sake of this Ibn Muta. Let me just do that because these Ibn Mutas will actually come in again and again. So why not just smash them once and for all? Okay. Uh, there we go. So can you show my screen, brother? Okay, this is a big screen, and you can see over here, right in front of Chris Claus, you will see a red mic appearing. These are muted by the people themselves. And in Discord, if a moderator will mute you, it will become a red mic over here. And this guy, Hawazini or whatever, is the moderator, and he starts speaking and saying, I didn't do that, I didn't do that, I didn't do that. But nobody else can do it if you are in the live stream. Check this out. How much time do, that's it. So how much time do, and then suddenly you can see there's a red mic. There's a red mic. Can you guys listen to what I'm showing, or the audio is not available?
Oh yeah, yeah, we can hear you. That I see the red.
Yeah. So suddenly Chris Claus was muted by the Muslim moderators. And now they are saying, hey, why didn't you say that over there? Guys, learn. Learn your own stupidity of your own moderators over there who didn't let them speak. So that's the reality. All right,
All right,
let's
so
go.
true Salafist. What do you got to say?
Hello, my friend. How are you doing today?
Doing all right. How are you?
Okay, that's very good. So, where do we want to start off today?
You come on to the live stream. What would your question be in accordance to what we were speaking about?
I don't really know. I just wanted to say hello. But basically, I never wanted to breed with.
That's a waste of time, please. Please, brother,
Yeah,
continue.
that's enough with these people. All
Exactly.
right,
I was
we
not
just got
listening. I just came here.
we got we got the trolls out today, people. We got the trolls out. That's what happens when you start exposing some of the people that they think are some of the
I'm very,
smartest
very,
politicians.
very disappointed. I was hoping there would be Muslims here, but no,
Eh,
evidently, yeah.
Well, they are Muslim, but they're just troll Muslims.
I know, but I mean Muslims, like serious Muslims that are willing to engage.
They actually have a.
Towards, but
I agree, man. Somebody that's willing to have an actual discussion. I'm willing
right,
to do that. All
right.
right, let's get going.
Moving on to the second part, you proceeded to say a statement from Ahmed ibn Hanbal. Now, Chris, I don't think you realize this, but I'm a Hanbali. My school of jurisprudence solely is from that person you just mentioned. What you said is utter nonsense because Ahmed ibn Hanbal is talking about Hafsa. You are talking about Hafs.
All right, now I do have to stop this because I have a little piece of information here for everybody. So let me just go ahead and share my screen. We'll do this. And I'll pull this up. Can everybody see the screen in front of me?
Yes, sir.
It says here, I heard my father say, Haf ibn Suleiman, referring to Abu Amar, the Qari, Quran reader or narrator. His hadiths are to be abandoned. Again, who's this say? Ahmad ibn Hanbal.
Ahmed
There's
ibn Hanbal.
yes, there you go. There's the reference. Apparently, I'm some liar. This is his school of thought, and he didn't know that this was one of the references. We'll go to the next one here. So Shuba told me Hafs ibn Suleiman took a book from me and never returned it, and he used to take people's books and copy them. Hafs ibn Suleiman, according to that person, narrates abandoned hadiths. Basically, nobody accepts his hadiths. They're weak, they're abandoned. He's copied from other people. And this is the person that they have their Quran. At least what 98% of the Muslim world today have this Quran.
Wait,
And
wait. Okay, wait. Stop. Okay, so okay, well, okay, so Hobbes, I know about, but is that the hadith that he was quoting? Was from Hobbes? Okay, the one that where he said that don't go to the Jews and Christian for the scripture because the scripture is corrupted, or is he quoting something else? Because that's the thing. The whole Quran is a hadith, right? Okay, And the foundation of its narration is Haf. No matter how you slice it, no matter which version, which interpretation, which whatever you want to call it, it all
Radical,
comes from Hafs, no matter what.
radical.
Go
You're
ahead.
going in a very different tangent. We are talking about the person Hafs who wrote the Musaf al Quran, which the Middle Eastern people
Right.
currently
Okay.
have.
Okay.
We are talking about that person.
So we're
Yeah.
not talking about the previous hadith. Okay.
No, no,
Well,
no.
okay. Well, either way, yeah, I was going to bring that up, but he brought it up and you brought it up. So great. Go ahead. Continue on. Because Hafs is, well, no, the whole Quran, every single version of the Quran, no matter what, all traces back to Hafs. It all does. Okay? I don't even think there's an exception in that. I think it's every one of them. The wash, the whatever, they all either studied under or studied under someone who studied under someone from Hafs. Do you see what I'm saying? Okay? So it all comes back to him. And the Muslims, I was told, well, by Muslims, they will say, well, yeah, later in life, okay, his memory faded. Later in life, he did all these things when he was an old man. So, yeah, we accept what he did earlier, but not later in life, which, yeah, pretty much doesn't make any sense. But anyway, go ahead. Sorry.
All right, I just wanted to pause it there just to make what he actually said there was a lie. So his scholar actually did reference it. I just wanted to show a few more references to how unreliable Hafs truly is in the Muslim world when it comes to his hadith narrations. So if he's that weak and that unreliable, why is he so reliable and they trust him so much when it comes to their prized possession, the Quran?
May I give you the narrative of Farid's response? I have his video where he's admitting that Hafs is a liar.
Sure. Oh yeah, I remember that.
You remember
Yeah,
that?
he actually did admit that Hafs was a liar.
There you go. Let's check that out. I will not play the whole thing. I'll just play the starting
First
part.
one, I am layman in terms of hadith science, but I heard that Hafs is da'if in hadith, but his transmission of the Quran is reliable. So my question is, how can that be, since I guess you need similar qualities. You need trustworthiness, you need a good memory and so on to reliably transmit a hadith. So how can it be that one could take it for Quran and not for hadith?
That's the one of
So now this guy is a Muslim asking Farid. The Muslim is asking a Muslim, and the basic thing is, how can you take the Quran from the guy who is pronounced to be Da'if and Kazab? These are the two words which are used for Hafs, and he translated it into English. But once again, they call him Da'if and Kazab, a liar. Look at the response of Farid.
the main reasons why one can be weak in hadith and reliable in the Quran. It's as simple as that. They didn't focus on it. They didn't review it. It's something that they left on the side.
So basic point, he agreed that he is a liar. He didn't use the kazab word. He actually omitted the word because he started by saying daif in hadith, but he omitted in saying and kazab. Kazab means liar, daif means weak. So okay, who's that guy? Hafs was reliable in his reading of Quran. He was accurate and consistent.
But he actually
Wait,
affirms here that
wait,
he
wait,
wasn't
wait.
in transmission of hadith.
Yeah, Chris, post that yeah, there we go.
Go.
So let's read. So yeah, Haas was reliable in his reading of the Quran. Okay, he was accurate and consistent, but not so much in the transmission. Ow! I mean, seriously. Okay, wait, what? Okay, yeah, dude was pretty much accurate in walking down the street, but not so much crossing the street as he got ran over. You know what I mean?
but
That
you know,
doesn't make any sense.
he was good, but he sucked.
Exactly.
That's like saying you go to the prison and the nicest inmate is the nicest inmate of the prison. Sure, he's probably nice, but that's not a good pile to pick from, right? And that's what they're trying to say about Hafs.
So now the question is, you know
Oh,
what? You know what? There are so many other people who actually wrote the Musaf al-Quran. For example, Ibn Kathir. He wrote it. I'm not talking about the Ibn Kathir of the Tafsir. I'm talking about the Ibn Kathir of the 8th century. There is a Musaf written by him. Why didn't you guys pick that? You know why? Because these idiots who actually picked it and canonized it in 1924, they just looked at the person. Hey, who is the person who is most famous and who has most student? That's it. That's all they thought at that time. They did not even look at it. They did not even look at it what kind of a liar kazab he is. But that's the reality of the situation. Anyhow, let's look at the Farid response's actual reply, which is actually a copy paste that he did from him.
And they mainly focus on the Quran.
In
They mainly
relation to Hafs, we know
now Abdul Rahman is speaking. Abdul Imran is speaking, by the way.
that the scholars of Hadith spoke about him in relation to the narration of Hadith. So like Al-Bukhari said, Taraku, and
Taraku means to be abandoned. Tarak, remove it, finish it. He is done deal. So Bukhari actually saying that Hafs is a done deal. Bye bye, Tata.
also Muslim Khan Matruk. But some scholars of Hadith also claim that he was a kadhab. So how do
See, like I have been saying, he is claimed to be a kazab, a liar. I already said that. It's all there.
we deal with that?
Good.
How do we deal? Good, good, good.
Like Ibn Khirash and others.
Yeah. Okay. So there are two people who have
That's all about it. Now he'll go into the same subject. Yeah, you can do this and you can do that, but yada yada yada. So imagine the Muslimin who have studied the books. They also know that, and that's a basic fact. That's a basic fact. And somebody, and Ahlul Haq already said again, hey Adam, refute the point. Imam Darbani said, dude, this idiot was born in 13th century. So if he is trying to save a version of Quran that he has right now, what else he has other than to say, he's fine. What we are reading is what we are reading. We cannot go anywhere else. You are talking to me about a person writing about Quran to save your asses in reality, because right now at that particular time he did not have anything else. So Mr. Huck, tell me about somebody who was living with Hafs, or at least 50-60 years of Hafs, who actually said no, Hafs is reliable. So now you go and lick your Blackstone, because we have other things to do over here. Chris, please carry on. I've given him his answer. Brother, you are mute.
Oh, so you don't hear the sound this time, do you?
No, no, sir. No, sir.
Yeah, I figured that did. I didn't hit the share sound on that one. I knew I would do it eventually sometime tonight. So here we go.
When we take a look at Imam al-Dahabi, Hafs is actually considered reliable.
Same point. I already this guy is saying that it's the same point. He's writing 600 years after, not 400 years after.
Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal's best friend since childhood.
Yeah, I'm just gonna skip ahead a bit.
Take a look at Jihadist channel.
Oh yeah, this is where he keeps putting things in the channel. It's so stupid.
If you cannot see it, just open the original or try to post a down to Hafs, the student of Asim. Likewise narrated by also Shu'bah, who is also a student of Asim. So we have both things that are clear-cut, explanatory, and very, very reliable. Now, here's the problem, is that in the Bible, we don't find such an unmasked chain of transmission. As a matter of fact, the reliability, definitionally like what I said at the beginning, differs. Remember, you see, remember what I said. Reliability is the example of the 3 hospitals. If you go to these 3 different hospitals, the doctors need to diagnose you with the same thing in order for the reliability to be there. That means your diagnosis is reliable. The validity is another topic that has nothing to do with the conception of the debate, unless my opponent Chris would like to add now the validity and the reliability of the Quran and the Bible. in which other words I will use the words that he used on me. I will quote unquote mop the floor with Chris. Regardless, so in terms of the Bible, we have so many different versions, of which both the authors of all these different versions actually proceed to sneer and throw remarks at each other, that they're each differing version is one maintained in heresy and one is incorrect, and no, this church should follow this, and no, that church should follow that. That's
First off, I want to say he's an idiot. First off, like, come on, he's going on the versions. He's going to be speaking about
Which are
the
translations? Which are translations?
the translations. Sorry, he's saying versions, which is really translations. It's the English translation from what has been passed down through different languages to us. So we have a bunch of different English translations. So if this actually means that you can't trust the scripture and that it's not reliable, then I hope that he holds the same standard when it comes to the Quran. How many different Quran English translations do we have? And it gets even worse than that.
10,
How many
12.
different Arabic Qurans do we have?
I have 7 right now.
And I think what Hatun is up to, what, 30?
36.
Yeah, 36. So Hatun has 36 different Arabic Qurans, yet he wants to appeal to the English translations and avoid the original Greek manuscripts. He's actually going to talk about Augustine up here in a bit. So he makes a very bad mistake when it comes to Augustine as well. So I want to wait until he brings that up so I can point that out as well. Go ahead,
if I could just add something here to the Muslims who are listening. Okay, Hatun has 30-something different versions of the Quran. There are multiple different versions of the Quran. These are not translations. These are Arabic versions, authorized Arabic versions. Now, what we're not saying, or at least I'm not saying, okay, that each one of these versions differs in a significant way from each and every other version. In other words, if you had a Bible that was in the Greek that said Christ was not crucified, that would be a different version that should be rejected from all other versions. Do you see what I'm saying? Okay. All right. Or all other handwritten manuscripts. Okay. We are not saying that there is a Quran that says Allah is not God, or Muhammad is not the messenger, or Muhammad is not the prophet. But what we are saying is this: your concept, your idea of perfectly preservation, okay, or perfectly preserved, okay, it is false. It's a false narrative, okay? What we are saying is this, yeah, okay, let's get over that fact, okay, that there are different handwritten documents, okay? There are minor variations here and there, okay? And there are probably major variations which are rejected in both New Testament, Old Testament, and Quranic manuscripts. Instead, let's deal with what the text says. And what the text says in any version of the Quran is just completely wrong. Period. For Christ was crucified. He was raised from the dead. And if you believe anything other than that, you believe falsehood. You believe in error. Does that make sense? Just saying.
To a logical person, yes.
Well,
To Muslims, it
You're
doesn't.
not
So
receiving the same
Yeah, it ain't that.
diagnosis when you go to every single hospital. When you go to these 3 different hospitals, one tells you no, your diagnosis is actually KJV, King James Version. You go to another one, it says no. Your diagnosis is the Septuagint. You go to the third one, no. Yours is the New Revised English Standard Bible. Furthermore,
I
to
like how
add
he
on to
mixes
this
up the
pile of
Septuagint
information,
and the King James Version, and then the New English Standard Version. Like, you've got to be some kind of stupid to add the Septuagint into that list. You've got to be some kind of stupid.
Not just some kind, extreme stupid, quite frankly. He needs to know what that. Okay, sorry, please carry on.
Wow.
Information. We actually have a first-hand witness account from one of the church fathers who wrote an exegesis on the Bible. In his exegesis of John, he admits, and this is Saint Augustine of Hippo, he publicly admits on his piece of exegesis that he didn't like how the words looked like, so he rearranged the words in a different manner.
All right. So here we go. Augustine did not like the wording in John. I believe he's actually talking about John 17. Now, what Jihadist doesn't understand here is that in the Greek language, words can be switched around in the sentence, and the sentence still mean the same thing. So, as Daniel Wallace, a great Greek, a great New Testament scholar, has once said, for the simple phrase "I love you, John" or something like that, there is at least 12 to 16 different ways that you can write out that sentence in Greek, and every time you read it, it will read the same way. So you can change the word order in Greek and it still reads the same way. So just because Augustine didn't like the word order and it was mixed around and changed a little bit, the word order, it still read the same way. But this is how stupid some of these Muslims are on here. Notice he never give the reference for that that quote or that reference from Augustine, and it's simply because he can't substantiate it, because he honestly doesn't know what he's speaking about. So let me go ahead and get the video back up here.
This is something recognized by the Oriental Orthodox Church, and that's why they say Saint Augustine of Hippo's
Wrong.
exegesis is not a good exegesis to read.
Wrong.
Unless you are a scholar.
Okay, pause please over here, brother. You see, he's alluding to exegesis again and again, yet he was talking about the Bible. Now, to all these Muslimin, can I open any single tafsir, which is exegesis, of Quran, of any verse? Will they accept it? Assuming, like, for the sake of argument, I will say whatever he is saying is correct 100%. For the sake of argument, I'll say he is 100% correct, and that's it. Fair enough. So now, can I open any exegesis of Quran written by any early scholar, and you will accept that from any verse of the Quran? If you will, I will accept that point. If you will not, then this is not even a point of the discussion, because the debate was not about the exegesis, not about the understanding of the scripture, but rather whether the scriptures are authentic or not. That was the debate. The debate has nothing to do with the exegesis, because if you go into exegesis, I have so many things to show. I can right now show you from your early scholars, which actually says that the angel Jibrail came down, he picked up the skirt of Maryam, and blew into the vagina of Maryam. I'm sorry, excuse my language, that's how it is written. And then Isa ibn Maryam was born. Will you accept that? If yes, you have a point. If no, why the hell would you even go there? Number one. Number two, and by the way, Quran actually says fanafakhna into what? Her farajaha. Now, Quran actually says that Allah blew into the faraj, or the private part, or the vagina of Maryam. And that's how they are explaining it. But once again, they will not go into the point how the exegesis of that verse describes that Jibrail actually picked up the skirt of Maryam and blew into her. So you see, Chris Claus, that's a logical fallacy that he is doing, even for the sake of argument, if we agree to his point.
Yeah, for sure, 100%. He's full of logical fallacies, and he tries to call it out on his opponents. And I think that he does it to try to distract most of the people listening, which are mostly Muslim anyway. So they're usually going to agree with him. And I think that's part of the problem. is that he's only ever had Muslims in the audience when he's debating. So Muslims are always going to think that he's beating a Christian. And it really doesn't help him out because he's not a very smart kid, right?
Most
But
definitely,
at
as we
least
can see.
here, my points have been clear cut, clear as steel. My opponent has merely failed to even put a dent in the argument of the Quran due to just basic incompetence in the understanding of hadith. And not only that, I don't think my opponent did his homework very well on how we perceive Quranic verses and how they all end up. Now, my opponent proceeded to bring up another thing where he proceeded to say, among the following, that in terms of Bukhari, that he said Hafs is an unreliable narrator of hadith.
He is.
Now, here's the thing. Here's another thing that I want to bring up.
Well, let's see what he says. Is he not? Does he say is he not? I
Let's
forgot that.
say, for the sake of the argument, even though what you said was utterly untrue.
Now,
that
see, that's a
Hafs is
lie and
unreliable.
deception. I just showed you guys that every scholar agrees that Hafs was a liar and kazzab. Even the Muslimin are coming up and asking questions to Ali Dawa. And I just showed that, and I can show that as many times as you want to watch it. And and I was like, I was so getting pissed off at that point. Please carry on, brother.
Oh yeah, he did nothing but lie. That's why I wanted to do this review, because it his lies didn't really, yeah, like if you were a drinking person and you had a drink for every lie that he gave in that debate, I don't think that you would have been awake to see the end of the debate.
That's a good sentence.
Let me just chime in on this point, not for the drinking thing, but for the accusing a Muslim of being a liar. They're like Democrats. I mean, you accuse them of being a liar, that presupposes they are capable of telling the truth in this situation. They're not. You know what I mean? I mean, seriously, it's like I would call you a liar, but that that means that you can actually tell the truth. No, you can't in this situation. Okay, I mean, seriously, it's that bad. It really is, Muslims. It is that bad. Either step up your game, get consistent, or leave Islam. Okay, I mean, if you cannot defend your religion, okay, without lying, without distorting the facts, without distorting your own sources, then there's something wrong with your religion, dude. You know what I mean? Anyway, that's all I want to say. And,
for sure.
Yeah.
In hadith sciences, people that are considered unreliable is different from other fields of knowledge, because in Islam we divide them. We have things to do with recitation and things to do with hadith. When someone's unreliable in a section, that does not mean he cannot be reliable in a differing section.
Well, I'm just putting it this way. I'm going to put it this way. If you had a person that went to school and learned in medicine, and they turned out to be a veterinarian, they can be a very good veterinarian, but do you want them to do brain surgery on you? Nope.
Definitely not, because like you are talking about hadith, but Quran, man, that's crazy.
Like, come on now.
No, a veterinarian, I would go to a veterinarian to treat a gunshot wound, but that's just me. But no, brain surgery, no. I'm just, yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
And now, this is the total opposite, because you have Haas, because the veterinarian is the worst. Now you're picking the worst veterinarian there is possible, the liar of the veterinarians, and you're saying he's the best one to do the brain surgery, right? And this is the way Muslims want to present their best recitator of what they believe is their sacred scripture, sent down from their fake god to their satanic prophet, to throughout the Arabic nation. Because frankly, any person that honestly believes this, and we were talking about this earlier in Adam's Discord, any person that actually is a Muslim, how can you read your sources and still be Muslim? Like, you have to be brainwashed or something, because it's sick, it's disgusting, and anybody with a moral compass could not read those things and still be a Muslim. Straight up.
Just like Saint Augustine was not reliable in writing exegesis, but he was reliable in every other field,
Liar.
right? Otherwise, using the same standard logic, Augustine should have been thrown out the window for the exegesis that he wrote, where he publicly admits he switched up words. So I think it is a vehemently clear misunderstanding on my opponent's part, and I think this hadith that I
Wait.
is
What do you
enough
say?
evidence to refute.
I'm sorry. What do you say? Augustine missed the what? Port or point?
It missed the point, but the part is that he's totally misrepresenting what Augustine said and the whole thing about it, right?
No, right, exactly. What do you say that Augustine did that was wrong? That's the kind of point. No, this is he missed the point. What no, he totally missed the point. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
Like 50% of the argument that he has presented.
Okay, so my argument that I actually presented was twofold. You can't trust Hafs because he's a liar, and you can't trust a liar for your recitation of your Quran. And the other one is he didn't even touch, is that Allah broke his promise to the followers of Jesus. He promised the followers of Jesus that he would strengthen them and make them uppermost against the disbelievers. Now, we know that the followers of Jesus believed that Jesus died by crucifixion and was raised on the third day. But if in fact they were strengthened by his Allah, right, then the followers should have believed that Jesus did not die by crucifixion. And he didn't touch that at all. And actually, this is an opening statement. I forgot to tell everybody, this is actually his opening statement, which seemed to me like more of a rebuttal. But hey, that's what happens when you come to a gunfight and you're bringing a knife.
Something us Muslims we get a lot of times. Debates or arguments against Hafs and Asim and Warsh and Nafi. And it's always the same concept of misunderstanding, of people being generally unable to look into the hadith sciences or even bother looking into other Sunni narrations or other hadiths, and they focus generally on just the ones they find, or just the ones that David Wood or Sam Shamoon proceed to send them, right? With that being said, I will cede the rest of my time. I think my point has been pretty clear, and I really hope that my opponent does reevaluate the utter tomfoolery that he just uttered today. I think this is quite an embarrassing part for Christianity.
Okay, we'll go.
I can see it, no problem.
Okay, Jihadist, go ahead with your 10-minute rebuttal.
All right, so first and foremost, I just want to highlight this following matter. Chris, I don't think your logic is complicated. I just think it's wrong. The reason why I did not give a direct back-to-back ontological response to it is because your entire logical standard fails at premise 2. You are making arguments that just simply are not true. So when I point out the untruthfulness in them,
oh yeah, this is where he said premise 2 was false.
Even though you're
so what we should do before we continue here is I just want to read what my premises were, and we'll see if my premises were false. So this is my deductive argumentation for why I believe that the Bible is reliable. I said premise number 1, Jihadist accepts the Quran and is the standard of truth. 2, and then 2, the Quran affirms the reliability of the scripture that the people of the book would have. Conclusion, if the Quran is the standard for truth, and then the Quran affirms the reliability of the previous scripture, then jihadists must accept the previous scripture as being reliable. A deductive argumentation as follows: if you want to defeat this deductive argumentation, you must attack one of the premises, because if not, the conclusion logically follows and is true. So he is saying that my premise number 2 is completely false, and I didn't provide any evidence, which is the Quran affirms the reliability of the scripture, which I'm sure me and Adam did quite vigorously already.
It's pretty clear. By the way, there is a dog manifesting in your channel named J Daher. J Daher, you are going left, right, and center. Why don't you come up? You have the live stream link and destroy us here. Let's see how well you can destroy it. Because in the Discord, your favorite jihadist, who actually said he will going to behead Chris Claus, he actually said that, and then they muted him when his time was to talk. They muted him, and I've shown that already. You can rewind. They muted him so that Chris Claus could not do the last part of the rebuttals, which is a quick firing round. So instead of barking on the live chat, come up. You have the invitation link. Let's see how far you can go with me.
Yeah, I
Please,
totally
Chris.
agree. And any of the Muslims in the chat, I just noticed that Brother Sam is in the chat as well. Brother Sam, if you want to come on up, you're more than welcome to come on up into the live stream as well,
So
brother.
Jay Daher is here. So Jay Daher, why was Chris Claus muted? Why was Chris Claus muted?
Yeah.
Why was
Basically,
Chris Claus
I just
muted?
did sex so hard
Hey,
to this
why
girl,
was
and she
Chris
was
Claus
moaning and
muted?
stuff. And I did
Hey,
sex
shut up and
so
listen,
hard,
you
so
fool.
good
Shut
in
up.
with her.
Chris, mute
She
him.
was, oh, please
Just
All
mute
help.
him first.
Yeah, I
Hey
said
Jay,
that.
Jay,
Yeah.
hey
Okay.
Jay, time to be quiet. We got. Hey Sam, how you doing, brother? God bless you.
Yeah, hey, good man. I wouldn't mind schooling this stone liquor. So let me know. I'm here.
Yeah, Sam. Hey Jay, Daher, Sam Shimon, go at her.
Yeah. What do you want to talk about? What was he complaining about?
So, yeah. Basically, I just did sex so hard to this girl, and she was moaning and.
What? What are you
Are you
talking
going to
about?
actually speak properly, or what are you doing, Jay?
Yeah.
Come on, you said about. Come on.
I just did so hard to this girl. She was moaning.
What is this guy talking about? What language
Talking about sex with some girl, I guess. That's the only thing I heard.
Get rid of him, dude. Get rid of him. What's up, Sam? I hate you.
I'm thinking, so I can't understand his accent. What is he talking about, man?
He was barking about sex, brother.
All right, we got
he's talking about Allah and his paradise, his Jannah, his whorehouse, his brothel. But yeah. What's up, radical dude? What are you doing?
Just kind of working now and like getting fat. And I hate you, dude. You're so lean and mean, dude. We're starting to journey together.
Hey, don't curse me, man. I got to keep the weight off by the grace of Jesus Christ. No.
Amen, brother. Hey, you looking good. You looking good.
Oh,
That's what I'm saying, brother. All right.
How's your part of the world? How's your part of the country without giving too many people?
Oh, dude, I gotta see. I'm still working my way to get to you or Texas now. It's looking like Texas.
Yeah, I think I'm in Texas myself. I think I want to leave.
Yeah, really? You're leaving? Okay, well, either way, then we'll hook up in Texas. But yeah, dude, Illinois, Chicago, it's like bad. I rode the subway last 2 days, and it's bad, dude. Rush hour, dudes shooting up heroin. Rush hour, dudes puking and pissing in between the cars. You know what I mean? This is not good, dude. The world is collapsing around me. Anyway, I'm sorry to interrupt. Go ahead.
Now, here's my question. Has it really become unbearable to live there?
Oh, yeah. Taxes, gas, everything's gone up. I shouldn't eat there at McDonald's, but my breakfast burrito meal in the morning has gone up for $4.10 and now $6. I mean,
oh, my goodness, man.
I'm seriously, you know what I mean? Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Well, we got to leave these liberal states. But anyway, guys, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to change the topic. I haven't seen Radical in a while, so. Anyway,
no, you are right on spot, brother. You're right on time. By the way, because he was talking about sex, would you like to tell them how Qurtubi writes how Allah pregnanted Maryam in chapter number 3, verse number 47?
Let me get you the link, man. I'll give you the link again to the article, and you can
show my screen, Christmas.
Hold on, let me get it for 1 second.
Yes, you get the link.
Yeah, my article there, and then I actually updated the link to the Arabic, which you read for us. Let me just get it to you.
If you go ahead,
Here it is. Hold on. Here it is. Let me get on Discord. I got too many windows open. Okay, that's the link right there. A brother translated the Arabic and English for me. So if you want to put it for the people in your comment section, because they don't read Arabic, many of them. Those who don't, we translate it in English. So there's the link there. And if you want to just open that, show them Arabic and English, and you can read the English translation.
Oh, you put the Arabic in there as well now?
No, I see the Arabic here.
Oh, okay. So yes, Chris, you can share the link because you are the host. So please take it from private chat and put it in the comment.
Oh yeah, it's already in the chat.
In the meantime, here it actually is saying that, wow, how did it happen? So so Jibrail did that. Hold on.
You're going to get near the end. He's
So
talk.
Ibn Abbas actually referred to Ibn Abbas actually said that Jibrail took the skirt up and blew into the Mary so that Isa could be born. So you know, when you pick up the skirt and where do you blow? The faraj, the private part. That's how it is written. And then because there was no Mary was not excited, so that blowing actually created so that fanafkha fihi Jibrail did the shahwat so that Maryam could be excited, or how do you translate it, Mr. Sham?
Well, if you
shahwat.
thank you, Chem. You call me Chem. If you click on the link I gave you, you'll find the English translation. You can read the English there. I just
the exact English would be better.
Hey, question on this. You don't mind me interrupting, but the question on Farj or Farjaha or however you want to pronounce it. Now I know in Iraqi slang, Arabic slang, there's a different dirty, naughty word for a woman's vagina. Okay, do you know what I'm saying? Do you know where I'm going with this? But in general, Arabic is Farj used in that term. Do you
That means the private part.
Yes.
The male or female private part depends. You can refer to a man's farj or a woman's.
Okay, well, the man's farj, yeah, okay, we don't want to go there. But anyway, but no, so you can say vagina or you can say other naughty words. You see what I'm saying? I'm talking slang.
Penis and vagina, no other naughty words. There is either a penis or a vagina, depending on whether you are using for a boy or a girl. There's no other word for that. Sorry.
So that's interesting. So okay, but either way, that is what it's referring to. It's not, especially in this context, it's not referring to had a hole in her clothes or
Nope.
Yeah, okay,
Definitely not.
Okay, just want to make sure I'm not.
So there's the English translation if you guys want to read it for them so they can see.
So Jibrail blew into it to excite her sexually because a woman needs sexual excitement in order to become pregnant. When Mary became excited sexually because of Jibrail's act of breathing into her, then the both sperm water mixed into her womb and she became pregnant. By the way, up here it should say, which I read, that the kameez is the skirt that she was wearing. Are you saying kameez over here or a shirt? What are you saying? Because however, the reason became she became because Allah created Adam, he stored the sperm water in the end, and when the both sperm created. However, in the case of Mary, stored both male and female sperm into her, some of her in womb and some of her in her back. So that's how crazy it is, because Allah thinks that women also have sperm water. That's also true from the Quranic verses. But Sam, I'm gonna add one more thing over here.
Wait, stop. Okay. All right. So Muslims will say to us, well, your God had sex with Mary to produce a child, right?
Here.
Okay,
Hold
that's a common thing, right?
Just a second, Radical. Just a second. This line. Jibrail took the edge of her garment by his finger and breathed into it, and she became pregnant. So that's what I was reading from the Arabic.
Yeah, no, there's yeah, like I said, there's two different versions of this that I've heard. There's the garment and blah blah, but the other one, that's very sexually explicit. Think about this: what do Muslims accuse our religion of? That God the Father had sex with Mary to produce Jesus, right? Okay, right. But here you have the angel Gabriel pretty much having oral sex with Mary to
Yep.
produce the angel Gabriel. What the hell is that? You know what I
Yep.
mean? Do you see what I'm saying? Okay.
Yep.
So they falsely accuse us of something we do not believe, but they believe in something really perverted that they really do believe in. Yeah, I swear. That's why Muslims are Democrats, dude. They say the opposite.
Okay, so Democrats are still nicer than Muhammad, FYI. This is Surah Al Imran, chapter number 3, verse number 47, the Tafsir al-Qurtubi. FYI, guys. So, yes, let's move forward, brother. All
right.
yours.
And just before we do keep going here, I'm just going to post a few links into the chat. These are articles by our dear brother, Mr. Shimon. There's one article that is to confirm it's Paul passed on the true gospel of Christ. This next one is going to be, of course, from Sam. It is the Quran confirms the Bible has never been corrupted. Here, let me go ahead and get this one first. It'll affirm the Bible has never been corrupted. Part 1. I was going to post part 2 first, but I better post part 1. It only makes sense to do it that way. And yeah, we go. We'll just get this last link here, because everything that I was saying in that debate with Jihadist, you can go ahead and you can find that on Answering Islam, Sam Shimon's articles. Of course, I've been following Sam for a long time, so you're going to see a lot of his arguments within my arguments inside the debate. One, because his arguments that are in this website are battle proven. They've been in debates. They have withstood the scrutiny of the idiotic Muslim attempts to refute them.
Amen.
So they're definitely something that you need to get out there and you need to produce in your debates as well.
So what happened? What happened in your debate with this guy? What was the conclusion?
He muted him. And
really?
Yeah, because in my debate, it was either the debate topic was which is more reliable, the Quran or the Bible. So I attacked the Quran by saying that it cannot be reliable because, of course, Hafs is unreliable in his hadith recollection and whatnot, and he used to steal books, copy them back and forth. So he cannot be reliable when it comes to his Quran recitation because he's unreliable when it comes to hadith. It's like going to a prison and saying that, the best inmate is the best of them. It's not a very good pot to pick from, right? So to try to say that he's the reliable one, I wouldn't I wouldn't say that if I was a Muslim. And the next one was that Allah broke his promise with the followers of Jesus, because Allah said, of course, that he would strengthen the followers of Jesus until the day of resurrection, and he would make them uppermost over the unbelievers. If he did this, he must have told them that Jesus did not die by crucifixion then. So my argument is that Allah broke his promise to the followers of Jesus because the followers of Jesus did believe that Jesus did die by crucifixion and was raised on the third day. And they did not believe that he did not die. So Allah broke his promise on that regards. The only thing that the Muslim actually tried to attempt was to try to say, I misquoted one of his references, which I've already shown is actually false. He tried to say that Hafs is reliable when it comes to hadith, and therefore he is reliable when it comes to his recitation of the Quran. And when I went to defend the reliability of the Bible, I used his Quran to prove the reliability of the Bible. And if he rejects that, then he rejects his Quran.
Good job.
And I was using, of course, your arguments from the part 1 and part 2. I was ready with the Paul one as well, because I assumed he was going to try to get into some of the Paul argument to try to discredit the reliability of the scriptures within what Paul was writing. So I was going to go into that as well. So I was prepared in my rebuttal for that. But of course, this Muslim wasn't very smart. So he didn't he didn't really do anything in the debate other than misquote Augustine. In the debate, he said that Augustine in John 17 in his exegesis said that he didn't like the word order. But of course, he was just misunderstood when he was actually referring to that. Yeah, that was probably the best of his debating, and he basically is one of the Islamic doxers, little mules. That's who his teacher is, of course, is the Islamic doxer, which is probably why he has the name Jihadist, right? And another reason why I wanted to debate this kid and to make him look so stupid, which I did, is because he actually in Discord said that he would conduct a beheading of an apostate if he could. Like, and these kids, they're from Saudi, and that's what they're being teased.
Guys, hold on a second. I'll be right back. I gotta help this Muslim debate in the mosque. Christian, I'll be back, guys.
All right, God bless you, brother.
Wait, the dude that you just debated said that he would behead someone?
Yep.
Yeah, man. That's if you see the thumbnail.
Where does he
for
live?
this
Wait, where does
link.
he live? Wait. Give me the information. Where does he live? What does he do?
Oh, he's in Saudi Arabia. He's a Saudi Muslim.
That don't matter. Well, that's what he says, but I mean, no. Okay, so you met him on Discord? All right, we'll talk about this later. Never mind.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later.
Okay. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
All righty. Well, that was a surprising thing with Sam coming in. So let's go ahead and jump back over here.
Attacking my authority. You're saying your authority is unreliable, and then I appeal to it, and you say you're appealing to authority. And then 5 minutes later, you appeal to Polycarp.
I appealed to Polycarp and
sure
Justin Martyr, Athanasius. I appealed to like
now,
4 or
Chris,
5
I'm
of
not
them.
insulting you. I'm trying to help you. The reason why.
Okay, stop right there. So this is a logical fallacy he just committed by accusing you of this logical fallacy. So he committed 2 logical fallacies. Okay, all right. The logical fallacy, first of all, is saying that you were appealing to authority, and nowhere from what I heard did you appeal to authority. Appealing to authority is to appealing to yourself or your credentials or your experience. In other words, if you say, like, for instance, you can't talk to me about abortion because, or I can't talk to a woman about abortion because I'm a male, because only she experienced that is a fallacy. Or if you have a professor saying, you know, when you're in a debate with the professor says to you, okay, or whatever, well, this is my field, I know better, okay? When you are quoting to them, okay, either in the case of the abortion, you are quoting to women who have experienced this, okay? And you are quoting professors who disagree with this professor. And they say that they are the authority based on either their experience and knowledge and or both, okay? You were not appealing to that. You were citing sources, okay? So, in the second logical fallacy he committed, well, that's just being a jerk logical fallacy. I don't know what else to tell you. I mean, no, we have to look that up, but no, it is 2 logical fallacies he committed. There's a logical fallacy where you falsely accuse your opponent of committing a logical fallacy, thereby committing the logical fallacy itself. Okay,
yeah.
That's my point. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Is because I just showed you in the evidence chat where everyone can plainly come and look at all of the.
And this is another thing that I want to point out. Would anybody that ever debates in Discord stop using the chat as your evidence? Like when you see a debate and there's 2 debaters on the stage, are they holding up the papers and being like, here you go, man? Like sometimes they'll have a book in front of them that they may be referencing, but every reference that they quote, they don't have that source in front of them. It's just a typical thing. If you question the source, then you can question it. It's just sad to say that, oh, look at the chat, look at the chat, and they keep doing this the whole thing. Stop posting your arguments in the chat and vocalize your arguments.
The evidence I posted, your arguments would be not. It will be utter nonsense. What I've provided is actually a single attack on every single point you brought up. every single point you brought up has
He's
been
only
shot down.
talked
I have
about
it in
Haas,
my
basically.
notes. I actually wrote it down and scratched it off one by one as I went through your points.
And by the way, do you
Oh
see?
yeah.
He says he's alluding. I have refuted every single point. But you know, I have seen this with so many Muslim debaters. They claim that they have refuted, yet but they haven't. Like they claim it. They claim it out loud from their mouth. But if you even rewind and check that, they have not. And that's how they try to manipulate the Muslims around them. And this is basic manipulation. And Ahmad Didat started it. Nadir Ahmad perfected it, and Zakir Naik and all these people, they are using this same thing again and again. FYI to all the viewers.
Exactly.
Hey Steve.
Hey, well, hey, hey, Steve. Whoa, Steve's here. What's up, brother? Okay, I just posted that fallacy, the one I'm talking about, where you falsely accuse someone of committing a logical fallacy itself, and you know what I mean. So you commit two logical fallacies, but it's argumentum absui. Yeah, whatever you figure out how to pronounce it. We'll just calling a bullshitter a bullshitter. Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I can't say that, but okay, never mind. Sorry, we just.
I'll go ahead and put it in the chat here, and then I'll put it up on the screen for you. There you go. Just to show how many logical fallacies this idiot Muslim from Discord is actually. Welcome, Steve.
How are you, man?
While he's
Doing good.
criticizing my authority. Second of all, once again,
yeah, breathe.
Reiterate this as best as I can. We have direct evidence that Hafs and Asim is extremely reliable. Hafs, the individual, Hafs bin Sulaiman is extremely reliable.
Where?
Yeah.
Again,
He's so reliable. He is a liar, and he has weak hadith.
He is matrud and he's kazab. But where is the evidence? He didn't say that. I was listening for him to state an evidence. He did not. Keep on playing, listening. He won't.
Yeah, I know. It's insane on how these Muslims actually debate nowadays. I've showed the evidence. What evidence? I've showed it.
We have the evidence.
Yeah.
This guy's 16 years old.
Yeah. He sounds a little bit older. I think he's I keep saying 16. I think he's 18. Yeah. But he sounds a little older only because he sounds like Kermit the Frog.
Is he that young?
Yeah.
And he that young, he said, yes, I would conduct the beheading myself of an apostate if I could.
Yes.
Wow. He probably has seen it in Saudi if that's where he is.
Yes, he is in Saudi, Steve. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, this is amazing. Wow.
Yeah. Okay. And literally anybody can look at the thumbnail of this actual live stream that we're doing. And the thumbnail is actually the screenshot that I took from inside of Discord, where the guy that I'm debating right now, the Jihadist, literally stated that he would conduct the beheading of an apostate.
Show my screen. Let the user read it.
Do you have that recorded? Do you have that written?
Let the user read it. Show my screen, brother. You have to show it. There you go. There you go.
There you go.
This is the jihadi you were talking. Yep. And he said, yeah, I would conduct the beheading myself. And he's replying to you. You're saying that after I heard him say that he would conduct the beheading myself earlier, now...
Yeah, because he said it on mic.
Exactly.
That sounds like a real fun guy to hang out with. You know
really?
What I mean? Yeah, I want to invite him over to my household for dinner. No.
You know what I mean? I got another screenshot that I'm going to make another collage of this guy's screenshots. But I have another screenshot that he says that if I ever go to Saudi, he's going to take me and try to get me beheaded when I get there because of the things that I've said about Muhammad, so he's going to rat me out if I ever go to Saudi Arabia, which
Okay,
I
wait.
probably would lose my head, I'm assuming.
But see, well, Chris, this is what I got to warn Christians on. This is what you guys are not understanding, okay? Especially those in the missionary field, okay? All right, you don't have to go to Saudi, or even just in the regular field, okay? You know, whatever. You're going to take a trip to Cuba, right, Chris? And all of a sudden, yeah, I'm trying to join you, but you got to send me more information and stuff. But I got to never mind. We'll talk about that later.
We'll talk about it.
Yeah. Anyway, point being is this, okay? You could be going to Cuba, and let's say there's a hurricane and all kinds of things coincide where your plane gets blown off 3,000-4,000 miles, and you wind up in, say, Indonesia for a layover or Malaysia for a layover. What I'm pointing these places out is these are proper layovers from flights from America, Canada as well, to the Philippines, to Australia, to Taiwan. Do you see what I'm saying? Okay, but anyway, so you land in these Muslim countries, or even India, flying to Australia from Europe, you're going to hit India or Pakistan, right? Okay, well, they are part of Interpol, and there have been 3 or 4 cases, okay, where those accused of blasphemy, okay, in Saudi Arabia, in Iran, well, not Iran, but in Saudi Arabia, and a couple of Pakistan, a couple of countries, where people, for tweets and Twitters and Facebook, all right, that they have posted, and all of a sudden, guess what? They're stopped at the airport, they're arrested. Do you see what I'm saying? Okay, so that's why I'm saying, I mean, Christian missionaries going over, I mean, just traveling wise, could be, kind of a headache if they dox you and they find out who you are. Is all I'm saying. Which, yeah,
it's not hard to find out who I am. I don't hide.
Well, no, that's the thing. And all right, brother. I'm telling you, I gotta pay you. I got sponsors, Chris. Go to Mexico. Try to sneak over the border. We'll take care of the whole thing, dude.
All right, press and play.
All right.
Not attack. Instead, he chose to spend his entire next round complaining about how I proceeded to just dismantle his argument. Now,
I complained how he dismantled my argument. That's what it was.
And put what he's saying aside, okay? Because I think I proved my point well enough. Now, the problem with the Bible is that all of these individuals, such as Polycarp, Ignatius, and all these individuals, they are tertiary sources. We actually don't have any primary sources for biblical authenticity or biblical reliability.
All right, so this has got to be another stupidest thing that I've ever heard. Polycarp is the one that learned from John, and we also have Clement of Rome, which learned from an apostle as well. So we have an actual, what Muslims call a chain of narration. We actually have a chain of narration that goes all the way back to Christ, the apostles, the disciples of the apostles, and continuing on from there. I see what you're going to read here. What page is this? 104?
This is 104 of Siratun Nabi by Ibn Ishaq, and it says, so he is saying there is no one who actually acknowledges it. So let me show you that even their own scholars acknowledge it. It says it is extract from what John the Apostle set down for them when he wrote the gospel for them from the testament of Jesus, the son of Mary. So the early scholars of Islam, including the very famous, the first person who actually wrote the Siratun Nabi, the life of the Prophet Muhammad, actually acknowledges and uses the Gospel of John, written by John the Apostle, who wrote the Gospel from the testament of Jesus, the son of Mary. Dude, is this guy idiot or what?
And you know what? This really is a passage from the Gospel of John. If you read what's after it.
Exactly.
He that hated me hated the Lord. If I had not done in their presence the works which no other had done, they had no sin. That's exactly from the Gospel of John.
Exactly. He took it from chapter number 14, if I'm not mistaken. So, and he's saying that, but the word that is in the law must be fulfilled, that hated me without a cause, But when the Comforter has come from the God, will send you from the Lord's presence, and the Spirit of the truth which will have gone forth from the Lord's presence shall bear witness of me. Shall bear witness of me. Who me? Me, the Jesus. Me, the Jesus. Now, he is not only saying that John wrote the gospel for the Jesus, son of Mary, but he's also using the verses from the Gospel of John, and this is the first ever written Sirah, the life of Muhammad.
Ibn Ishaq.
Yep.
Wow. That's
Yeah, I agree. Can you just lower your screen for a second? I just
Oh,
want to go
sure.
ahead.
You can remove it
and
whenever you
show-
want. Let me
and
do
just
it.
show
Hold on.
these people. Oh, sorry.
I did it.
I removed Radical from it. Just give me a second here. I got to go ahead and turn this on. See
Yep,
this?
this book, same book.
The
Go to
Life of
page number
Muhammad.
104.
And no, yeah, I had it out there.
Wait,
There's
you're
another
doing
one I
it
want to
for
show as well,
what?
guys. This
Wait,
is page 653. I just want to read from page 653 here as well. And it says, "Those whom Jesus, son of Mary, sent, both the disciples and those who came after them in the land were Peter the disciple and Paul with him. Paul belonged to the followers, which was not a disciple. And they went to Rome, Andrew and Matthew to the land of the cannibals, Thomas to the land of Babel, which was in the land of the east, Philip to Carthage, which is in Africa, John to Ephesus, the city of the young men and of the cave, James to Jerusalem, which is Elia, the city of the sanctuary, Bartholomew to Arabia, which is the land of Hijaz, Simon to the land of Berbers. Judah was not one of the disciples, Judah, who was not one of the disciples, was put in the place of Judas. So they're saying that Judah was put in the place of Judas. This is again page 653 from the Life of Muhammad. It is the translation of Ibn Ishaq.
There you go. If somebody wants to take a screenshot, I'm showing that right now on my screen. If you can show it so that people can take a screenshot. So this is the passage, guys. You can take a screenshot. This is page number 652 of the same book that our brother Chris Kloss just read. So it's 653, sorry, 653. And you can take a screenshot for your references so that whenever you want to show it to others, you can. Carry on, brother Chris. I think that's enough time for them to take
Excellent.
A
A
lot of that is accurate, actually. Some of those disciples did go to those places, you know.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. Like the evidence is out there. You can't hide the truth, right? The truth is always going to come through from falsehoods. It doesn't matter how many times you want to try to repress it down. It's not going to stay there, of course.
We actually have none of them. Even Old Testament scholars and New Testament scholars agree alike that there isn't primary sources for the New Testament. Hence why I actually have to keep referring to the Old Testament to see the things in the New Testament aligning up. So here's the issue with this, is that this becomes a homunculus fallacy. Now, a lot of people might ask, yeah, this homunculus fallacy, what the hell is that? Right? Well, the homunculus fallacy, my dear brethren and sisters, is very simple. Okay, it means that you are claiming that there is a middle source when there is no middle source. I'll give you an example of what this means.
Hey, can you rewind that? Because I'm pretty sure that's not right. Yeah, no.
Let him finish. Let him finish. We'll destroy it. Wait.
In some forms, it comes also in the same understanding as something called the masked man fallacy. Now, what that essentially is the following, and can simply best be explained in this matter. Let's say that these two people, Polycarp, Ignatius, and whatnot, or whatever, all of them, let's say that they have proceeded to get their information from a certain individual. Now, if that certain individual, we don't know, if it goes up the chain and then we don't know who they are, and then it goes back to people who we know who they are, that would be completely irrelevant. Then that would be the fallacy itself. Because then we cannot verify the sources of the reliability if we don't know whether the people are reliable or not.
Okay. Hold on. So basically what he is actually saying, that we cannot take a single chain of narration of any hadith, full stop.
Yep.
and we cannot take any Musaf of Quran, full stop, because you do not have any earlier written Quran by the earlier people. You have a Quran written by the chain of narrator, or whatever you guys like to call it, because it is also debunked that Quran is not in a form of a hadith, because in a form of hadith collection, because it was so called mutawatir. But once again, mutawatir means that the things which are recited or used or stated in a tawatur, but you cannot prove that because it is oral. So now what he is saying, he's actually denounced Islam 100%. We have all the scriptures to go date back and everything. They do not. So basically, he did not denounce Christianity or the biblical scriptures. In essence, he just demolished him. So okay, I'll give a question to all of these Muslimin. Tell me who is uh, pick up any name. Ibn Huraira. Who is Huraira? Who's Huraira? So you can see there are at least 40% ahadith in the Sunni culture which are by Abu Huraira. So who is this Abu Huraira guy? Can you tell me? Do you have any written evidence of Abu Huraira by Abu Huraira or somebody who was living with Abu Huraira? Any single evidence of who this guy is? If you cannot provide it, then all of the ahadith from Abu Huraira, whatever the chain is, are demolished, because he just said that you cannot rely on these things. Like, come on, man, this is stupidity after stupidity. Who's Abu Huraira? Who the hell is that guy? Huraira, what does Huraira means? Cat, right, Stephen, if I'm not mistaken?
Huraira, actually, Huraira is a Mexican name.
Okay, forget
Yeah.
Mexican guy. The Arabic Huraira.
Actually, I don't know Huraira. Huraira could have something to do with like the temperature, like har al Huraira. Yani could be something like a heated place and stuff. So,
Man, this is how stupid it is. This guy actually, like, if I were at that point, right, at that particular area, I would have said that this is how it is. So you actually denounce everything. He actually denounced each and every single point about Islam, not about Christianity, but about Islam.
And the whole funny thing about this is he invented this fallacy. No, I didn't bring up this fallacy, of course. He just all of a sudden invents up this fallacy so he can define this fallacy. And while in defining this fallacy, he basically buries every hadith known to man. Good job, Mr.
and he
Jihadist.
also
Good job.
makes up words.
Well, okay, so let's
So
just
basically,
wrap
the
this up.
Flash is saying we have biography about Abu Huraira. Hey, you stupid Flash, please use your brain like a Flash, not like a dog. I said, if you have something, tell me who was writing it, living next to him. You stupid. You didn't hear what your stupid jihadist actually said. You stone lickers, don't use the brain as brain masala takatak, but rather use it for the argument's sake and see what this stupid idiot is saying. You are like, dude, like they can't even understand English right now. I don't know what is happening over here.
Okay, so again, agree with everything you guys just said. Okay, all right. I mean, 100% stole liquor. Yeah, idiot. Yeah, okay, 100%. But here's the funny thing: this dude now commits 3 logical fallacies. The first logical fallacy, again, he falsely accuses Chris of committing a logical fallacy. What logical fallacy is that? I posted it. Oh, I don't have the tab up. Okay. Argument of whatever. Okay. All right. Then he commits the logical fallacy himself. Okay. By committing the logical fallacy. But then the third logical fallacy, this is the funniest thing. It is a logical fallacy. Unfortunately, it has no formal name. The best name I can find for it is pretty much misusing, overriding informal fallacies in an argument. Okay? Anyway, yeah. So he commits 3 logical fallacies. I'm sorry. Again, Islam is totally irrational,
God bless you guys.
illogical.
I gotta
What?
go. I love you guys. God bless you.
All right, brother.
God bless
Still
you,
waiting
Steve.
on my pizza, dude. Anyway, go ahead.
Quran, where we see countless amount of times, like I posted in the Jihadist and Chris channel, Hafs is very reliable.
Not
Hafs is 100% reliable.
100% not reliable. I agree.
Wait, did he just say before he admitted the fact? Wait, stop. He admitted it before that Hobbes lost his mind at some point, right? That he's not reliable. That he's a thief. You know what I mean? So how now all of a sudden he's reliable? That makes no sense.
Later on, he's not going to be reliable again. Hey, it's just the way he is. Yeah.
And I genuinely appreciate if in his next rebuttal he proceeds to actually prove his point and not complain about me.
Why are they always picking on me?
I will proceed to post a few more evidences detailing Hafs's credibility. And this comes also from a different scholar. Which is from...
Everybody hear all this evidence?
Yeah, he's googling it.
The son of
Yeah.
Ahmed ibn Hanbal, the same person that this individual was quoting, even though Ahmed ibn Hanbal was talking about a different individual. So if we take a look here and we take a look at Jihadist and Chris,
Again,
Abdullah ibn Ahmed ibn Hanbal proceeds to say thiqa about Hafs. Furthermore, Imam al-Dahabi, like I said previously, says he was thiqa.
Imam al-Dahabi is talking in late 11th century, FYI. Next.
Yes.
Became very proficient in Quran recitation. So here's my own little ontological line for Chris. So this would be my ontological defense since you wanted it so much. Okay?
An ontological
Premise
defense.
number 1.
Supposed to be supposed to be a deductive
are my
argument,
primary
but
sources
whatever.
of belief. Okay, I do not leave one behind and put one behind the other and one on top. This is where I get my sources from directly. Quran and Hadith. You bring Quran, you want explanation for the Quran, you pull out the Hadith. You don't have the Hadith on hand, sorry, bud, your entire argument becomes invalid. Not a single Muslim in the world is going to say, yeah, that guy's...
There you go. You quote a Quranic verse. If you don't have Hadith there for you, that invalidates your claim of the Quran.
Wow.
I'm amazed how these... Yeah, I'm amazed how these stupid idiots works. His brain is stupid because Hadith has nothing to do... In a lot of times, Hadith has literally nothing to do with Quran. Literally speaking. There are so many instances. There are so many instances where hadiths has nothing to do with Quran, because hadiths are not just the explanation of the Quranic verses, but hadiths, there are many of the times hadiths as how to live your life, which Quran does not even touch upon. So now that's a huge logical fallacy to begin with. And then again, when you talk about hadith, and if I show some hadith in regards to some Quranic verse, then he will say, hey, this is sahih, but isnad is not sahih. Dude, the isnad is sahih. No, this is al-abani, this is xyz, this is flana, this is tamakana. So whatever suits them in a debate, that's how they run. That's how it is.
And remember, with his last logical fallacy, he's already thrown out every hadith known to man. So the next time he quotes a verse, what hadith can he actually use? As you said before, he's already apostatized from Islam. He better watch his head in Saudi.
Yeah.
A good argument if you don't have any hadith on your side.
By the way, Chris, hold on. Sorry, this reminded me of something that he actually did. So he said that hadith has to be with it, right?
Yep. Yes, sir.
Because he said that, let me show you that when you left, there is a guy, Sahih al-Masihi, who came up. Okay, I'm showing my screen. Can you please show, brother? Okay. In the end, Sahih al-Masihi came up and he gave him a hadith as well.
Everyone
Check
prior
this
to
out.
him and also couple months after Al-Tabari. But basically what they all say is that when the Quran or when the hadiths talk about like corruption, they don't talk about textual corruption. In fact, they talk about distorting the meaning of these verses. So like when you quoted your hadith quoted by Ibn Abbas, which said that obvious that the Torah and the Gospel have been corrupted, wouldn't you think? Actually, no, I'm not going to ask this question. But that would, like, if you would take in light what the Quran actually says about the Torah and the Injil, if you would say what Ibn Abbas says in light of that, it's a lot more obvious that he's in fact talking about not textual corruption, but corruption of the meaning of the text. And yeah, so actually, yeah, since you actually heard the quote I posted, Ibn Kathir, actually the one you appealed to, with no isnad, he claimed that Jesus was not crucified, but that one of his disciples took his place for it. You gave no isnad for that, but he quoted a narration which al-Bukhari attributed to Ibn Abbas, where Ibn Abbas himself said that the Torah and the Gospel cannot be corrupted. They are in this present form, and that the corruption is not in the text, but in their interpretation. So how would you...
So Ibn Abbas, when he was quoting previously the hadith. Ibn Abbas did not say Torah and Injil is corrupted. Ibn Abbas actually said that the corruption is in the interpretation, not in the text. This is what Sahih al-Masihi is telling him. Look what he answers.
Answer this in light of what you said previously in your debate. Thank you.
Oh, just like a bit of translation.
There's two questions.
Yeah, the word of God cannot be.
Wait, no. Besides, please, later.
Well, okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
That's actually a very good question. Sahih al-Masihi. So in tafsir and exegesis in Islam, we have a concept called i'timad. Now, what this roughly translates to in English, or what it directly translates to rather in English, is the things that we basically take from a collection of something. Okay? So in exegesis, these things differ. For example, we have, like you said, Tabari and Ibn Kathir and the sorts. Right? So when we have these narrations, usually all exegesis are riddled with weak hadiths. Okay? And some of these
all exegesis is riddled by weak hadiths, so you cannot take them. But he's talking about Bukhari. Check this out, guys. Please.
Scholars, you are correct. They take these weak hadiths and then they instill them in the tafsir to back it up as evidence. Now,
how does he know that? Wait, how does he know that? No. Yeah, no. Again, he commits another logical fallacy.
Wait, Radical, wait. You'll cry laughing. Hold on. So, according to him, these hadiths are weak. So check this out.
The thing here is that it is up usually to the people who are doing analysis of this text to see whether these statements can hold out on their own without the hadiths or with the hadiths. Right? The one that I've listed for Ibn Kathir it's not a baseless hadith. It's weak, right?
One he quoted is not a baseless hadith, but it's a weak hadith. Now, Chris Claus, when you were there, he was claiming to that hadith which Sahih al-Masihi actually quoted and said, hey brother, you quoted a hadith which actually does not say the text is corrupted, but it actually says the meaning is corrupted. I'm going to show you the hadith, but I'm going to listen to one of his own argument. Check this out.
It's not. It's for the one for the disciples. Yeah, it's considered weak, and Ibn Kathir uses it as the definition. But the one for Ibn Abbas found in there is baseless, meaning it's isnadless. The one that I have.
He said it's isnadless. Check this out.
Isnad, but the one that is listed there has no isnad.
Okay, so now I'm gonna talk about this, and then I'm gonna shut up. So let me share my screen. where I will show you why he's saying it's asnadless. So share my screen, brother. Now remove this and share the other screen. Okay. So because he
Even
knows.
let's say,
Oh,
you
not
know,
this one,
let's
brother.
take
Not this one. Not the text. Yes. So he is referring to Tafsir Ibn Kathir of chapter number 3, verse number 78. That Sahih al-Masih said. It says Al-Bukhari reported that Ibn Abbas said that ayah means that they altered and added through none among Allah's creation can be removed the word of Allah. So none among the creations of Allah can remove the word of Allah, i.e. jinn or mankind altogether. They cannot alter the word of Allah. From his book, and Torah and Injil are the books of Allah as well. They altered and distorted their apparent meanings. They altered and distorted their apparent meanings. Okay, now Wahab bin Munahib said the Torah and Injil remain as Allah revealed them, and no letter in them was removed. Full stop. Full stop. Now he said that this Bukhari hadith does not have any asnad or chain of narration in the English version. In the English version, yes, he is right, in the English version, because they did not translated it. If you go to the Arabic version of the same tafsir, chapter number 7, chapter number 3, ayah number 78. Can you please share my screen, brother Chris, once again? Now I'm showing the Arabic version. In the Arabic version, you can see Wakala Mujahid, Washebi, Wal Hassan, Wakitada, Warabi'i bin Ans. Yuharrifunaha wa haza Ravi al-Bukhari. So Bukhari is writing from this chain of narration of 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 5 guys, that saying that Ibn Abbas said that nobody can change the word of Allah in the books min kitab Allah, that nobody can yuharrifun ala ghair tawil, and nobody can change. So they change what? The meanings, the interpretation of it. Wahab said that lehaza, hence the Torah and Injil is exactly kama anzalahuma Allah Ta'ala. So it is exactly how Allah Ta'ala revealed it. So you have the chain of narrations and everything in it. This guy is an Arab. He can read the Arabic. Why did he allude it to the fact to a non-Arabic guy that it doesn't have a chain? He's a liar after liar, man. And then he said that you cannot read a Quranic verse without the hadiths. Now, this is the Quranic verse, Surah Al Imran, chapter number 3, verse number 78. And you have this tafsir which is quoting the hadith. And all of this agree that nobody can change the word of Allah in the books of Allah. And Torah and Injil is the book. So, Chris Claus, you were talking to a deceptive stone liquor liar who lied in the whole debate. FYI.
Oh, it for sure, 100%. Now, I just want to address this person, Flash. I believe it is in the text. He says, I literally just said the biographies of Abu Hurairah. Well, guess what? That's not what we asked for. We asked for evidence of people that lived with him at his time that wrote about him, not biographies that are written 100 years later, 200 years later. We want them from that time. So, Flash, I know that you think that you've been presenting this evidence, but you haven't. All you've been all you've been showing is that you have not listened to the challenge at hand. Now, if you want to come on up and you want to try to persuade us in a way, feel free, click the link. But as Adam said, he would like to see the evidence from the time, not afterwards.
Because his friend actually talked about it. This Jihadist actually said that without this evidence, there is no evidence. So hence, You guys have to produce the evidence, which he actually alluded to the fact, not me, FYI.
Yes.
2, all of these recitations come in the form of different accents, and we have evidence from the hadith that they were all narrated by the Prophet. Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam.
Liar.
Taught to the companions by the Prophet. Third of all, we can establish that the linking chain here is correctly attributed.
Liar.
Therefore,
I just showed that.
On mass transmission.
All right. So he's talking about you have to have the Quran and you have to have the Hadith to understand it. They have evidence that it goes all the way back to Muhammad, and they have evidence that this chain that goes all the way back to Muhammad is authentic. Therefore, his fourth premise, which he's too stupid to even realize what a deductive argumentation is and how to present one, is what I'll describe it first, and I'll show you how stupid he really is. What a deductive argumentation is that you formulate your premises with a conclusion that would logically follow from your premises. So, as in my deductive argument, I had two premises followed by the conclusion. Now, in Jihadist's mixed up, he has no idea what he's doing with the deductive argument, is he has 4 premises with no conclusion. I would love to know how a deductive argument logically is stipulated in this manner when you have simply 4 premises that don't logically follow one another. So maybe he just needs to look up what deductive logic means, perhaps.
Being a reliable concept, it would only be logical that the Quran is a reliable book. Now, we have multiple evidences, including archaeological evidences, where people would find very old Qurans that dated a long time ago, that we find out that still has the same things being said today.
Oh my God! So somebody has a Bible, which we have, that is like at least, let's say, 500 years old, and it reads the same as we have today, then that's evidence that it's the inspired word of God.
Wait. Rewind that. Did he really say that? I mean,
yes, sir.
Okay, rewind that, please.
Premise number 4. On mass transmission, being a reliable concept, it would only be logical that the Quran is a reliable book. Now, we have multiple evidences, including archaeological evidences, where people would find very old Qurans that dated a long time ago, that we find out that still has the same things being said today.
Wow! Really? Shocking! Oh no! Read this here in your best Valley Girl voice. Oh my gosh! You know what I mean? It's like wow. No. See, this is why I can't deal with these people. I'm sorry, they're just too. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Man, this was awesome. Okay, so can he produce me one single Quran which is the same as he has right now, let alone, I'm not even asking him that they should be the same as the rest of them? No. Look how easy going I am. Give me a Quran. Okay, within 100 years of Muhammad. Okay, 200 years of Muhammad. Sorry, after 200 years of Muhammad, which is the same as we have right now. Just one. Give me one of them. That's it. Challenge to all Muslimin in the whole wide world. I will close my channel. Go.
Yeah. They ain't gonna do it. They can't, and they know it. This guy is so, and that's the problem with Muslims. How can you honestly listen to a guy that is truly this stupid? To be, and that's, I'm not trying to. I am making fun of him because he is an idiot. Like, the Muslims on Discord that will be hearing this, Jihadist is an idiot, and I don't understand why you guys think that he is some type of Islamic debater. He's thrown your religion under the bus many times. He's made himself look so stupid in this debate.
Has changed. Now, I promise you, you won't find the same thing for the New Testament because it has seen so many new translations and back and forth, back and forth. For example, Latin Vulgate and the Septuagint, read both of them, or rather the Latin Vulgate and the King James Version, you would find that some of them say completely two different things.
Yeah, the
Are we
different
reminding
languages.
he's repeating again?
Two different things.
Well, yeah, he's repeating the same thing, but the problem is if you read the Latin Vulgate in Latin, you'd be reading it in a different language, and it would probably say different things than what you would read in the English translation, and it would be different from the Greek manuscript. So if somebody was to read a Greek manuscript to you, and then read a Latin translation to you, and then read an English translation to you, they're all going to sound different because they're different languages.
But the meaning should remain the same. The essence of the meaning should remain the same, and that's it. That's all what
Exactly.
matters in the translation.
Amen.
Some would leave some certain words out, and some would change the words to some weird old English that was not found in the Latin. Some would even try to, when they change it from Greek to Hebrew, they would actually throw off some of the Hebrew words so it doesn't sound as bad.
Liar.
This is. I'm sorry, but this is not reliable.
Notice no
Simply
reference.
because you could just tell me, hey, despite that this dude just came and changed a bunch of the translation, you can go and take a look at the Greek. That is not very reliable. So with that being said, I appreciate that if my opponent spends, again, the next round actually
What happened? Am I?
Oh, sorry, I was muted. So I'm just going to fast forward a little bit because he just whines a little bit, and then this is the ending of the crossfire that we had. Did any of the followers of Jesus believe that he did not die by crucifixion?
Yeah, all of them were aware of it.
Can you show actual evidence?
Yeah, sure. Let me pull up Tafsir ibn Kathir, and I hope this time you actually look at the Tafsir.
Think about this for a minute, people. Think about this for a minute. If we want to look for evidence of what the followers of Jesus actually truly believed, if Jesus died by crucifixion or if he did not die by crucifixion, the first and the most trusted source is Ibn Kathir. Adam, what's the problem
1200
with this?
years after the death of Jesus, who does not know anything about Jesus, writing 1200 years after the event has happened, using the sources of the word of mouth and his own fellowship coming from Muhammad, not even Muhammad and some of these people. Like, dude, do I need to say anything more?
That's and that's the whole thing. Ibn Kathir is 600 years after the death of Muhammad. Again, 600 years after the death of Muhammad, and he's basically reading hadiths when he's saying this thing. So this is the best and the most reliable information that Jihadist has. This is so what you're telling me is you're going to quote a tafsir by Ibn Kathir to show that
Tafsir,
the
not tafsir.
actual followers of Jesus and what they actually believed.
Yeah, because the Tafsir is pretty clear that one of them even who chose. He said, "Yeah, I want to be the one to be crucified instead of you, and will bring me to heaven."
Is this divine revelation?
No, it's exegesis of divine revelation.
Which he just denounced. I have shown you. Which he just denounced in the end.
That individual who is a professional in exegesis, right? He proceeds to write down what this revelation means.
But what I'm asking you is what the actual followers of Jesus believed in the first century.
Yeah,
Not excuse me, not what a commentator believes 600 years later that he thinks they believe. Do you have any evidence from the first century that the followers of Jesus did not believe he died by crucifixion?
Okay, so let me answer this question. No problem.
Wait, no, Jihadist,
First-
I'll make it easier for the, maybe it seems like I'm understanding questions you guys are not.
I just want to answer it, please.
Okay.
Just stay clear.
Go ahead.
Stop giving this man mercy. Khalas, I've seen enough today. Look, first of all, what you just committed is a historian's fallacy.
Fallacy. The historian's fallacy is not what I just said. The historian's fallacy is when you read your 2000, like the year 2000, your idea as of today, when you read your ideas of today and the reality of today into the text 2000 years ago, and you develop your argument from that, right? So that is the actual fallacy. What I said was, how can we know what the original followers of Jesus believed? He goes to a hadith. Now, typically, the historical method would be the closest to the time frame, whatever evidence is the closest, they would like and they believe is probably the most reliable. Now, and I'm just going to ask everybody here, if I was to give you, let's say, we're looking for the evidence that Caesar lived, and 200 years or 300 years after Caesar, there was writings, biographies about him and whatnot. And then in, let's say, the 15th century, there was more writings by him, but they were different. And I brought them to you. Which ones, historically looking at them, would you believe is probably more reliable? The one closer to the date of the person, or the one furthest away from the date of the person? This is my whole question, and he's trying to say it's a fallacy, which it's not. It's just another way, and this is, he commits a double fallacy, as Radical already said, by misquoting the fallacy, and by doing that is committing the other fallacy.
Well, let me just comment on that. I agree with everything you say. You did not commit the fallacy that he accused you of, okay? And you gave a great definition of the actual fallacy. So he's now committed 4 fallacies. But my point that I want to bring up on this actually is in other words, this is just a knee-jerk reaction that he has. He has a list of things. I'm just going to say this is a fallacy, and I was supposed to say, oh, he's great. You know what I mean? Okay, but no, there is a common fallacy, okay, that Christians or Westernized Christians, whatever you want to call it, actually make when it comes to Aisha, when they call Muhammad a pedophile, okay? All right?
Are they not right? They're absolutely right.
Hold on. Well, okay, again, now you are committing the historical fallacy. That is a correct definition of the historical fallacy. That is a fallacy where you judge by what we consider today history, okay, or our own subjective morality regarding this thing, and we then go back to the 7th century Arabia and we apply it, okay? I am sorry. Now, again, even at that time, there were questions. Why are you doing this, Muhammad? Okay. In other words, I think it's Abu Bakr denied Aisha to him a few times. Okay. But again, that's subjective, the interpretation of that part. Okay. What I am saying is this. Okay. And I think this is the better argument on this subject, is that Muhammad made something that was questionable, maybe at the time, okay, but still older men marrying younger girls, in other words, orphans, whatever, you know what I mean, okay, all right, and taking them for whatever to groom them into being their wives, okay, this was a common thing in the ancient world, okay, all right, now then.
Was it?
Yes, it was. Well, not 9 years old. Hold on, not 9 years old. But yes, older men, okay? Well, I shouldn't say my age or Muhammad's age, but yeah, it was not uncommon for a 30-year-old to take a 12-year-old as a bride to produce progeny. Okay? Do you see what I'm saying? Okay.
Muhammad was just like a common man.
Okay, yeah, exactly. Exactly. Now, the thing about this is, okay, all right, is that Muhammad solidified this. He made this ancient, older practice in a time where, you know what? You had to produce 6, 7 children, okay, for 3 of them to survive, you know, to the age of reproduction in hopes that they would reproduce. Do you see what I'm saying? Okay. But what Muhammad did was he solidified this. Not only did he make this universal for all Muslims in any time, in any culture, in any place, but he made it so that that is a good thing. That is a blessed thing. That is what you should do in spite of your natural reluctance and perversion and, you know, repulsion, I should say, at looking at a 9-year-old and thinking, how was that sexual? You know what I mean? Do you see what I'm saying? Okay.
Yeah, I see what you're saying, and I kind of agree with you to a point. But then we also had to think that Muhammad is the man, is the example for all mankind and whatnot.
Yes.
And then also, Jesus also said that if you look at a woman with lust in your eyes, and I'm sure when Aisha was crawling away from Muhammad when he first saw her as a baby, of course, he's been lusting after her ever since she was an infant. That would definitely qualify as looking at her with lust in his eye, because he was probably trying to mount her at 3 years old. The disgusting individual was, right?
Dude. So yeah, you haven't seen the videos that I did. I mean, the ones with Aisha, they were like pretty much like.
Yeah. I can't because I couldn't go near a Muslim after those. They'd try to kill me. That'd be like a Charlie Hebdo thing.
Exactly.
It's almost over.
But that happens today. But that happens today because Muhammad, and they consider that a blessed thing. You know what I mean? Because of Muhammad, they believe they are imitating the best human being that there was by doing this to like little girls,
which is disgusting.
Exactly.
That's why it's disgusting. Yeah.
You're saying, commentator 600 years later, how can I trust that? That's literally a historian's fallacy definition.
No, it's
if someone came 5 million years later and said Jihadist was on an application called Discord, laying the smack it down on Chris Claus, that does not mean he's lying. Because
Jihadist, please, watch language, please.
Actually, he would be lying because he didn't
for the earliest evidence possible.
Please let me finish.
Follow the historical method and quit trying to make fun of it because you're not very smart at this point.
Please let me finish, because I think, quite frankly, this is becoming a giant waste of time. I'm very disappointed.
Yeah, it's a giant waste of time because you don't know the historical method.
Like I said, you're committing a fallacy. But regardless,
like just throwing out the word fallacy.
Wait, Jihadist, just let me. Okay, so his question is simply, just maybe you're not understanding it. He's saying that, do you?
I just want to point this out here too. Like the moderator even just acknowledged that Jihadist is so stupid that he hasn't even answered the question yet. His own Muslim brother's going to reword it for him because he can't understand what I was saying.
Oh wait, I get ready for this. Take this. He's saying, do you believe that the followers of Christ, the disciples, for instance, did they believe that Christ was crucified? You personally believe that?
No, they do not. They do not. Like I said, time and time again. I think I said this like 7 times now. Maybe he needs hearing aids or something. But like I said, they were very well aware of what was happening. In fact, one of them literally volunteered to take the position at the cross instead of Jesus.
He's taking for Ibn Kathir again.
Yes. Yep. I will post it in Chris and Jihadist chat.
Wait, did he deny Ibn Kathir? Wait, he denied Ibn Kathir, right?
No, he took from Ibn Kathir.
No, he took from him. Okay, most Muslims deny him, though.
Well, no, I thought he took from them, but he denied them. Okay, so go ahead, continue on.
He previously denied it. Now he took from Ibn Kathir. So that's how he's going in circular motion.
Oh yeah, he did do that. Yeah, of course. Now, given the historical method that historical scholars would use,
would they accept what you've just provided as being historically accurate of what the actual followers of Jesus believed?
Yeah, the historians of who take a look at Quranic exegesis would agree, yes.
Sir, I said historical scholars, not just Muslim scholars. Historical scholars, sir.
No, not all of them would agree.
Oh, so
because there are Christian
what you're admitting, what you're admitting right now is most historical scholars would reject the evidence you provided as being the most accurate evidence of what the followers of Jesus would have believed then.
Okay. No, that's very, very incorrect and dishonest of you, Chris. What I'm telling you is that not all historians have read Tafsir ibn Kathir, and most of them, when they're just looking through biblical exegesis and biblical explanations without looking at anything else, that is the conclusion that they would reach. But in Islam, we don't believe.
All right, so we'll stop it there. So there you have it, people. All of the historical scholars out there, the New Testament scholars, the historical Jesus scholars, when they're looking for evidence of what Jesus said and everything else about his life, these scholars are so much of liars and so deceitful that they just don't even look at the tafsir of Ibn Kathir. Like he thinks that scholars should look at this as actual historical evidence, but a historical scholar would laugh in the face of jihadists because 0% of them would accept the tafsir of Ibn Kathir as being truthful, A, because it's 1200 years after the death of Christ, B, because it's 600 years after his false prophet lied about the death of Jesus. So other than that, that's all I had for this evening. Anything that you want to finish up on, Adam?
No, you're absolutely right. Like, I've been laughing from quite some time already, and you haven't shown the part where they actually muted you. I really want you to show that as well. Because did you record it afterwards when they muted you and they were saying, I didn't mute you, I didn't mute you? Or should I show that part?
Well, you could show it. I had it on the live stream for the debate, but the show or the clip that I pulled just for the show, just Jihadist, I didn't add that in there. But yeah, you can go ahead.
Yeah, show my screen, my brother. So let's go here. So check this out. When they mute you, now the only more that I can see over here is Ibn Hawazi. There might be others, but check this out.
You honestly don't know what you're talking about right now, Jihadist.
I would appreciate now if you don't cut me off anymore because you're getting salty that I ruined your argument. Calm down.
How is it ruining my argument when you've exposed yourself not knowing the historical method? This is actually pretty funny to me, honestly.
Okay.
You're still interrupting. You're still interrupting.
This kind of beef will continue. We'll just move to a different topic.
Yeah. So
how much time to?
Well,
for the open discussion, we got like around 10 minutes more left.
Yeah, we got around 10 minutes more left. So Chris, I would appreciate.
Wait, who mute Chris? No.
No, it's an open discussion, and imagine what they do. They just muted Chris. Check this out. So now when it comes to open discussion, they know Jihadist is going to, he's been lying all day long. Now he's going to be destroyed by Chris. They muted him. Check how they actually play innocence.
Don't, whoever muted Chris, please don't mute Chris.
I cannot mute for some reason. I cannot mute him too.
Wait, go ahead, Jared.
You are standing, ممكن.
I'm saying like I cannot mute him, nor can I unmute him.
Okay.
So yes, the buzzard guy cannot do that. This idiot can, and he is the one who muted you. It's a red mic. Ibn Hawazi can do that.
Unmute.
So what? Okay, tamam. So what I was saying is the following. All right, before Chris so rudely just burst into an outpost of rage, is the following.
Outpost of rage.
There is a direct fallacy. I'm going to post it in the chat momentarily as well.
Post it in the chat momentarily as well. Where is this guy? Why is he not saying?
Fallacy. Hint, hint. The word historian is there.
So whatever. So now these guys actually claimed that none of them actually muted Chris, but they did that. They did that, and we can all see over here it is not a mic muted by the person. And I know because you have to right click of the person and you have to mute the person and you can mute him. And this is Al Hawazi did that. Or this guy Imar Al something. These are all mods. They did that. Now they're so quiet. Why? Exactly when it was time for open discussion, Chris was muted. Why is that? Why exactly at the time when it was open discussion, the mic was muted? Like,
Wait, Chris, you did this in the Muslim room? Oh, see,
yes.
yeah, okay.
Hey, yeah,
Well,
you
that's
can't
why.
get mad at me.
That's your answer.
You can't
That's
get
your
mad
answer.
at me though,
I'm
and I
not
gotta
mad
tell
at
you
you.
why.
No, I'm not mad at you at all.
After he
I'm
said
like,
that he would have beheaded a Christian, and then you know how I defend Jay. You know that, right? This meathead that I debated, he went on for like 15 minutes, just totally going at Jay and saying some disrespectful things about him. So
oh, screw
I
him,
looked at,
dude.
I spoke up and I was like, you know what, Jihadist, you pick the topic, you pick the place, you pick the moderator, you pick the day, you pick the time. I don't care what debate you want to have, you pick everything, and I'm going to mop the floor with you, as I just did.
Well, yeah, you definitely did. This dude, I mean, oh my god, seriously, okay, okay, yeah, we're still live. We'll talk later on this. Actually, I hate you both. No, I forgot. I'm working. I gotta go bed. Dude, I gotta get up in like a few hours here. So,
All right, man.
All right, brother. I'm gonna talk to you guys later. But
yeah, I'm closing out anyway. Thank you very much, everybody, for showing up. Thank you very much, Radical. Thank you very much, Adam. God bless you, brothers. God bless everybody into the chat. Thank everybody for coming by here. If you'd like to go ahead and support me and Adam, go ahead and show us some love in the subscription and in the likes. And please share our videos. The more shares that we get, the more truth that we can get out, and the more Muslims can leave that filthy, disgusting religion that they're in.
Amen.
God bless everybody and have a wonderful night.
And my last word, sorry.
Go ahead.
Yeshua Akbar al Azim. Hallelujah.